Hello and welcome to my Barrows guide. I did try really hard to make this pretty much for all players that could theoretically do Barrows on a realistic scale. So at least semi-decent stats, like 70 plus or so. And so I did try really hard. It is kind of complicated to do that, but I do hope it helps and I do hope you enjoy. For getting there, basically if you've completed Branches of Darkmire and you have the Dragon's Medallion, then just use it and teleport straight to the Barrows. Easiest way to get there by far, and by far the fastest and everything. So if you haven't done that though, and you completed Fairy Tale Part 2 or Fairy Tale Part 3, then you can use Fairy Realm code BKR, and that teleports you into the Mortmire Swamp. Then you just follow the red path, and that gets you to the Swamp Bodhi. And the Swamp Bodhi is free. It doesn't matter what quest you completed. It's easy to use. And it takes you down to the black line, and you can just run from there. If you've completed In Search of Mire Q, then you can use the shortcut from the Canifis pub and run down that way. Or if you've completed none of those, you can basically get to the gate any way you feel comfortable, and then just kind of follow that yellow path which connects to the red path and go to the Swamp Bodhi. That's the other best way to get there. And that's really what I would recommend at the very minimum. So the Barrows area has 6 mounds. Each mound houses 1 brother, except if you complete a Ritual of the Majrat, then the Vrak mound has 2. Basically, if you go into the Vrak mound and go north, there's the Acrosay area. Now, these 6 mounds, obviously they have each a brother. However, one of them will have a tunnel, which goes into the Barrows tunnels. In the middle of the Barrows tunnels is a chest, and you loot that chest to get any potential gear or all your rewards. So this is a map of the tunnels. So basically, you'll be dropped in once you go into the tunnel after killing the 5 other brothers. You really should kill all 5 brothers before you go into the tunnel. So once you go into the tunnel, you'll be dropped into one of the 4 corner rooms. Now, whatever room you're entered into, basically will have a rope that can get you out, but one door will be open in that room. It's basically you go through that door, and then if you look at the blue doors, one of those blue doors is also open. It's basically your job is to find your way to that blue door that is open, and then do the puzzle that opens it, and then you can get to the chest. Now there's monsters in the area, and each one spawns every time you open a door. And it could be one of the brothers that you didn't kill, which is why you should kill pretty much all the other brothers before you go into the tunnels. Now, whichever door so when you get to the puzzle door, there are basically 4 different puzzles you could possibly face. They're all random, and the 3 answers are at the bottom. They're always the same answers, but they're in random locations. So basically, you'll see all 4 answers now, and they're not really hard, but it's just don't mess up, because if you mess up, then it basically flips around the entire area, and you have to go find another puzzle door. So it can be kind of annoying if you mess up. So just don't mess up. Just click right, and you should be fine, and it's really easy to get through. Okay, this is the basic gear setup for Barrows. So I'll just start with the top. So I have a Hiram's hood, basically full of Hirams. And if you rather low defense, or if you can't afford a Hiram's, and you think about going with something like Mystic instead, you might want to increase your defense a little bit by wearing something like a Vrak's helm or something like that, just to have a lot higher of a defense, because obviously Mystic has pretty much no melee defense, whereas the Hiram's does have a decent amount. And then after that, or if you have something like Ganodermic, that works really well here, or Virtus obviously works great, but a Hiram's kind of would be the basic. Can drop down to Mystic, but then you might want to wear something like a Vrak helm or a Vrak skirt just to increase your defense. Now Doan Cloak 3. This is really great because it has a teleport straight to an altar. A house teleport would also work for that, but this is just a pretty good option. And if you're not going to use an Doan Cloak 3 or basically something that teleports you to an altar, then just have like a high mage attack bonus or a fire cape or something like that. That works well. Amulet of Fury, Amulet of Glory works fine. And that also has the advantage of teleport, so you can wear that. Polypore Staff. Polypore Staff is definitely pretty much the best option here because it's very cheap and very effective. You could use something like an Armadillo Battle Staff, which would be a little bit faster, but at the same time has a lot of price issues, so that can be a little hard to use. Another really good option though is using Slayer Dart, which means you have a Slayer Staff or a Staff of Light, and with either of those options, you get all the ruins back when you loot the chest, or pretty much the majority and a little bit of extra. So you really don't need any more than like 500 casts, and you'll be fine for pretty much forever. So that's another very good option there. I have an illuminated holy book. A few other good options would be something like an arcane spirit shield, or really just whatever you have that's a mage bonus, or even just have a dragon defender for when you're going to be meleeing a bit. Barrows gloves, they just work well. I really recommend them. Infinity boots, you could wear Ragefire boots or Mystic boots, but Infinity boots work fine. And a Ring of Wealth. If you have something like an Onyx Ring Imbued, Dragonstone Ring Imbued, Mage Ring, or like the Magic Rings or whatever, or yeah, Sears Ring I think it is. But yeah, if you have those work, but you should have a Ring of Wealth when you loot the chest. That way you just get a little bit of a bonus type items. So I would recommend just bringing a Ring of Wealth, whether you're going to be using it or not. And then Dragon's Medallion, just whatever you're going to be using to get 2 Barrows. So like I'm going to be using Dragon's Medallion, and it's obviously the best option. Or if you're going to be going through the fairy rings, then you want your Lunar Staff or Draymond Staff, whatever you're going to be using. Or if you completed Fairy Tale Part 3, what's somebody else doing here? Anyway, yeah, but just whatever you have. Karazi Sword, this is a really good spec weapon because it has a magic attack spec, so basically it's very good here. And so I definitely advise using it if you have it. DDS or claws work great as well. Chaotic Longsword, you just basically want a main attack weapon. So Chaotic Longsword or a Chaotic Rapier or Maul, or something just like a whip, or just use a Karazi Sword. There's lots of options there. Dragon Defender, basically kind of self-explanatory, just whenever you're meleeing, you want to have the Dragon Defender equipped, just helps a lot. And I have an extreme set, super set works fine, and basically it's not that big of a deal, but I would definitely recommend bringing some attack boosting stuff. Recover Special, these just can be a little bit helpful, can speed up some of the kills a bit if you use them, but they're not necessary at all. Then 4 prayer potions just in case, especially if I meet Darok in the tunnels, then I definitely drink a prayer potion because he can hit out a 500 plus very easily. And then just some food just in case I get injured and I need to eat up a bit. So that's just kind of the basic setup that I have. Now for the basic strategy, basically you want to just pot up, go in. I kill him in the order of Darok, Akrasay, Varak, Carol, Guthin, and then Ahiram. Now, that's obviously kind of the basic order. You can change it around as needed, but you want to kill Darok and Carol while you have prayer left. And as you can see, I got Akrasay as a tunnel there. And then, other than that, you really just want to mage pretty much all the brothers except for Ahiram and Akrasay. Now, Ahiram is because mage doesn't work very well on him, and melee works very well. So that's why I don't have like range gear. And then Akrasay because he prays, so you pretty much have to use at least 2 styles, in which case that's mage and melee. And then Carol, mage does work really well on him. Some people think it doesn't, but it really does. And I really suggest using it. And other than that, it's really not that hard. You just go through, mage each brother, and basically use your prayer until it runs out. And then use your specials when you can and things like that. And that's really about it for basic strategy. As you can see, I'm just going through. But if you've not completed Ritual of the Majra, in which case you don't have access to Akrasay, you still want to kill Torag. Basically, I don't kill Torag because when you do the mathematically how it works out is each brother you kill gives you a 1% greater chance of getting a Barrows item in the chest. However, it is capped at 6%. So killing Torag, if you've already killed Akrasay and the 5 other brothers, killing Torag doesn't give you a greater chance, which is why I usually don't kill him unless I meet him in the tunnels. Now, if you haven't completed Ritual of the Majorette, definitely go kill Torag. And the order I would do it in would be kill Guthan and then go over kill Torag and then kill Ahiram after that. And it doesn't really matter the order since Torag and Guthan and Ahiram, they don't do that much damage to you. But that is the order I would do it in, just kind of almost out of habit. And then really that's about it for the basic strategy on how to do it. As you can see, I just killed Torag there because he happened to appear in the tunnels. Now, at times, even you kill all 6 other brothers and you haven't found the tunnel yet, so you do have to go to Torag, and basically you'll meet Torag in the tunnels. And really that's kind of the basic strategy on how to do this. It's not that hard, really. And then you go through, if you have not yet met the brother that was in the tunnel, then you will meet him at the chest. So that's kind of a complicated way of explaining it, but I hope that does kind of make sense. As you can see, this is Akrasay, and he does prayer switch. I think it's 140 damage or something like that. And so yeah, it's just really the basic strategy on how to do it, and it's not that hard. And you just loot the chest. Make sure you're wearing a Ring of Wealth when you loot the chest. As you can see, I got an Akrasay War Mace actually out of it. Then you teleport to the Kandarin Monastery, recharge, and then go back. And then that's just kind of loot over just 5 chests. So 1 mil loot and 350k without the War Mace in just 5 chests. So it's actually pretty good overall. Well, thanks for watching. I do hope it helped. Good luck getting some of those Barrows loots. On Tuesday, I'll be releasing something about the quest that's supposed to come out. I don't know if it's going to be a guide or just me doing it or something. Maybe I'll have like 2 videos, a guide, and just like me a live commentary of doing it. I'll figure that out when I get there. Thursday will be an achievement diary. And then, as I said before, Saturdays, I'm not going to be putting out videos anymore because I'm starting school tomorrow, which probably should actually get ready for. But it's basically, I won't really have enough time to be putting out 4 videos a week. It'll be down to 3. But I still hope you guys appreciate that. So please subscribe for that. And please rate and comment on this video. It really does help.